Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something pretty specific, actually.
Yeah.
We're diving into the really cool history of Tamiya's RC buggies, specifically the ones named after animals from the 80s and 90s.
Oh, right. That's a great topic. It really marks a huge pivot for Tamiya, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, it kind of moved away from just making those super detailed scale models like, the Sand Scorcher.
Yeah, the classics.
Exactly. And they started engineering these bespoke fantasy machines. Yeah. Real characters.
And that's the key thing we found looking into this, isn't it? The animal name, it wasn't just stuck on there for fun.
No, not at all. It was like the mission statement for the whole car.
It dictated the look, the engineering, even how it actually handled on the track, the quirks and all.
Absolutely.
Right.
So our plan today is basically to trace that functional story, how each creature name translated into actual performance.
We'll start with the early ones where the connection was almost like too literal.
Yeah, sometimes accidentally.
And then move to the later designs where it became more about the theme of the animal, like embodying its speed or agility.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with that foundational fauna, the real icons of the 2WD boom, kicking off in 1983 with the frog.
The frog. A big step up, engineering-wise.
Totally. The leaping innovator, right?
That's it. Named because it could jump and land really well. And Tamiya specifically engineered for that.
So what was the tech? It had that independent suspension all around?
Yeah, four-wheel independent. But the really interesting part was the rear. Trailing arms
Okay.
with horizontally mounted oil dampers. Aluminum ones.
Horizontal. Why'd they do that? Seems kind of unusual for back then.
It really was. For 83, it was a statement. But it wasn't just looks. It tucked everything away, protected the shocks from big landings, rocks kicking up.
Oh, makes sense.
And functionally, that setup let the whole rear end kind of squat down and soak up landings. Really smooth.
Like a frog's back legs.
Exactly. Just like a frog absorbing impact. It was agile, really purpose-built for jumping.
Okay, so if the frog was the sophisticated jumper, then the next one, the Grasshopper from 84, that seems like Tamiya figuring out how to market a flaw.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely say that. It's a fascinating bit of product strategy, really.
Go on.
The Grasshopper was meant to be simple, robust, cheap, basically, entry level.
So less complex suspension than the frog.
Way less complex. It had a simple, solid rear axle, a rolling rigid axle, and just basic friction dampers, not oil-filled.
And the result of cutting those corners?
Well, it was bouncy, like notoriously bouncy. Over bumps, the back end would just hop and skip all over the place, uncontrollably, really.
Right, not great for racing.
Not at all. But here's the genius part. Tamiya just leaned right into it.
Right.
They gave it that high rear spoiler, kind of looks like an insect's abdomen, right?
Yeah, I see it.
And called it the Grasshopper. The name literally described its main handling quirk. And it worked. People loved it.
That's brilliant. Turning a bug into a feature, but they didn't stop there. They took that exact same basic chassis,
Pretty much.
gave it a much beefier motor, and boom, the Hornet, also 1984.
The aggressive Stinger, that's what they called it. They put in the much more powerful Mabuchi RS540 motor.
And the name fit the new personality.
Perfectly. All that extra power on that lightweight, kind of bouncy chassis.
Yeah.
It made it fast, aggressive, and pretty unpredictable.
Wheelies.
Oh, yeah. Lots of grunt, speed, wheelies. You really had to be quick on the controls. It was exciting, but kind of scary to drive. A real handful.
Like messing with a hornet's nest.
Exactly like that. And the look matched too, right? That black body with the yellow, orange, red decals.
Yeah, straight up European Hornet colors. It really amplified that Stinger feel.
So moving on a bit, mid-80s, RC racing is really starting to take off competitively.
Right.
Tamiya starts refining the 2WDs, moving away from literal bouncing, more towards like clever performance, efficiency.
And that brings us to 1985 and the Fox.
The cunning racer.
Yeah,
that name says it all. This is Tamiya getting serious about competition.
Suggesting what? Speed? Efficiency?
Efficiency, definitely.
Wow.
And survival. Look at the body. Sleek, low. They said it was inspired by a fox's snout. Kind of long and slender.
Okay.
But the real cunning part was the frame. It was a monocoque design.
Meaning?
Basically a sealed tub chassis. All the radio gear, the battery, everything was sealed inside.
Yeah.
Protected from dust and dirt.
That sounds pretty advanced for 85. Great for keeping things clean on a dirt track.
Totally. Very effective. Really good at surviving those messy race conditions. Hiding its vulnerable bits,
Yeah.
Cunning.
But was there a downside? Maintenance.
Yeah. That was the trade-off. Because everything was sealed in, Getting to it meant taking a lot of stuff apart.
Yeah.
Not exactly beginner-friendly for repairs.
Okay, next up, 1986, the Falcon, the swooping predator.
Yeah, this one's all about aerodynamics, or at least looking aerodynamic.
Like the bird, the peregrine falcon, fastest bird alive.
Exactly that vibe. The styling was all sharp angles, that really distinctive nose cone that kind of swoops down,
I remember that look.
and a compact wing at the back. It just looked fast, even standing still, like it was diving.
So the name here is more about capturing that feeling of speed and aggression, the predatory dive.
Precisely. It embodied that dynamic, swooping movement.
Now, things get interesting because Tamiya starts revisiting their hits, right? Updating them.
Yeah, the market's moving fast. Got to keep those popular models relevant.
So 1988, we get the Grasshopper II. What was the goal here? Make it less hoppy.
Basically, yeah. Refine it, tame it a bit. Design was sleeker, more streamlined, less blocky and insect-like than the original.
Still simple underneath.
So pretty simple, yeah.
Hmm.
But they were offering upgrades. The Black Special Edition, that was a big deal.
Why?
It came with proper CVA oil dampers, finally. A direct fix for that signature hop that, defined the first one. So they were actively trying to control it now.
And the Hornet got an upgrade too, eventually. The Super Hornet in 1993.
Right. Kept that aggressive look, but really focused on improving the handling to match the power.
How'd they do that?
The big change was making 4 oil-filled shock standard.
Yeah.
Proper damping all around.
Ah, so it could actually handle the power off-road.
Exactly. Much more consistent, much more controllable. It was the Hornet, but grown up. The aggressive Stinger finally had the suspension to back it up.
Okay, one more key 2WD before the 4WD era really takes over. 1991, the Bear Hawk. Weird name combo.
Yeah, Bear Hawk. Sounds like a contradiction, right? Brute strength meets sharp precision.
And the buggy reflected that.
It really did. Used a modified Falcon chassis, actually. The Bear part was the look wide, strong stance. And instead of a wing, it had this rugged rear cage structure. Looked tough.
Okay, that's the Bear. What about the Hawk?
That was the handling focus. Better suspension components, actual improvements there, and really grippy pin pattern tires on all 4 corners, even though it was 2WD.
So maximizing traction and control, sharp handling.
That was the idea, trying to blend that brute force look with more precise, hawk-like control on the track.
Right, this feels like a turning point. 4WD arrives, and the names seem less about quirks and more about performance themes.
Absolutely. The tech gets more serious, and the names reflect the intended capability. Case in point, 1990, the Manta Ray.
Huge deal, the Manta Ray. Introduced the DF01 chassis.
Landmark buggy.
Yes.
That DS01 platform, shaft-driven 4WD. It was robust, capable. It dominated for years.
And the name, the ground-hugging glider. That's pure performance description.
Totally. Manta Ray's glide, smooth and low. This buggy was engineered for exactly that feeling on dirt.
How?
Well, the 4WD gave it massive grip and stability, but also the body wide, very low slung, kind of shaped like the Manta Ray's wings, those pectoral fins.
Low center of gravity.
Exactly. Low cog, 4WD. It just stuck to the ground. Stable, flowing, didn't bounce around, it glided. The name perfectly captured that smooth, effortless dynamic.
Okay, speaking of powerful themes, we have to mention the dragons. Inspired by a manga series.
Oh yeah, the Dragon series, Thunder Dragon 88, Fire Dragon 89, and Saint Dragon 89.
Based on the Thundershot chassis. Another 4WD.
Yep, all shared that robust Thundershot 4WD platform. The names here are all about invoking power, aggression, mythical might.
And the designs match?
Definitely. Aggressive body lines, sleek canopies, big wings, everything to look like a formidable dragon.
And the Thunder Dragon had a specific feature, didn't it? Something unique about its suspension.
It did, yeah. The front suspension used a single horizontal monoshock damper.
One shock for the front.
Why? The idea was to limit body roll when you were cornering hard. Keep it flat, stable, like a powerful force gripping the track. Precision through power.
Okay, let's jump ahead a bit. Late 90s, we get a machine that's pure brute force. The Mad Bull from 1997.
The Mad Bull. The name tells you everything you need to know. It's not subtle.
Not about finesse, then.
Not remotely. Their slogan was literally, mad like a bull. This thing was defined by its tires. Massive tires. 115mm diameter lug pattern monsters borrowed straight from Tamiya's Blackfoot monster truck.
Wow, on what chassis?
Just the simple, basic DT01 2WD chassis. So it wasn't advanced suspension. It was all about those huge tires and just raw power.
So it handles like a charging bull.
Pretty much. It's not precise, not agile at all. Those big bouncy tires and the torquey motor just mean it plows over stuff. It steamrolls terrain. Unrefined, unstoppable power. Perfect name.
All right, let's wrap up with a more modern example where the name reflects specialization. The Sand Viper from 2006.
A good one. This shows that later evolution. It's built on the DTO2 chassis, which was known for being really well balanced.
And the name Sand Viper suggests speed in the desert, right? Low and fast.
Exactly. A Predator adapted for sand. The body reflects that edgy, very low profile, stylish.
And the handling match, what makes it a Viper on sand?
It's all about agility and loose stuff. The DPO2's balance helps, but it's the tires, again, used strategically this time.
How so?
Groove tires on the front for sharp steering, really precise turn-in, and then spike tires on the rear for maximum forward bite, maximum traction on loose surfaces.
So it can turn sharply and accelerate hard out of corners. Strike quickly.
That's the idea. Agile, precise, efficient on sand or loose dirt. It lets the buggy strike through the corners, just like the name implies.
Wow. Okay, what a tour. It's amazing to see how that design philosophy evolved.
It really is, from the Grasshopper, where, like we said, a flaw basically became its personality,
Yeah.
all the way to something like the Manta Ray or Sand Viper, where the name is purely about conveying sophisticated handling and capability.
It feels like those animal names were the key. They turned these RC cars from just, products.
Into characters, real personalities people could connect with.
Tamiya built this incredible emotional connection by engineering that personality, whether through quirks or performance, right into the machine.
Absolutely. It was marketing genius, really.
Yeah.
Built on solid, sometimes quirky, engineering.
Which brings us to a final thought for you, the listener, to maybe chew on. We live in an era now where RC is often about standardized platforms, squeezing out every last bit of performance. Optimization is king.
Yeah, things are different now.
So, thinking back on this amazing Tamiya Menagerie, where the character engineered into the buggy was so important, how much does that kind of personality still matter today, when maybe raw performance is seen as the only goal?
That's a really interesting question. Does character still have a place? Something to think about.